Excited to see who can take that victory trophy.
As always, we're excited to see who's going to take the trophy and who is going to get pied in the face at the very end of this. So without further ado, let's explain to you a little bit about how Rocket League is played as we get down into this match. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I've got really simple words that are going to help you follow along, and that is cars playing soccer with a giant inflatable ball. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Has anyone here ever played soccer or watched soccer? Okay, you know Rocket League. All right, we're on the same page. Perfect. But I mean, the cool thing about this game, though, is that soccer balls, unlike, I guess, real life, they go kind of high in the air, but they don't really hit ceilings too much. But at least the balls in this game, they go kind of everywhere, off the walls, off the ceiling, off the cars. There's a whole lot of different things that happen. So there will be big timing differences, too, and that's where the big brain plays come in from. That's where, you have all your muscles and stuff when it comes to soccer. And look, we talk in front of a microphone. We don't really have those muscles. But when it comes to Rocket League, though, you do have to use your brain power a little bit more when it comes to, again, the timings, be able to block, be aggressive, go for goals, and you have a lot less people to help you out, too. It's a 3v3.
Yep, and as you'll notice, they are going to take up a lot more space. That ball is much bigger than a lot of these little cars, but that's going to add to the fun of it. You're going to see a lot of that airtime that Keg had talked about, and just be ready to watch your students continue to do really fun, action-packed moments. I'm always so excited. I always kind of go into this and I'm like, oh, Rocket League's kind of simple. It maybe isn't going to be as crazy or as fun to watch as some other video games. And I'm wrong every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time it ends up being this action-packed. I'm like, oh my gosh, that move was so crazy. I can't believe that we got up that high. I can't believe that we had that much airtime. There's so much to pay attention to in this, and we're going to try and help walk you through that as much as possible.
Yeah, going back to the hype that you mentioned, Becky, too. I mean, we cover a lot of different video games. You and I, we've been through the entire gambit. Anything relatively competitive, right?
But I've done Pac-Man before, so.
Sure. I mean, okay. I'm pretty sure 90% of the people here are younger than Pac-Man. But,
that might be true.
Maybe. But here's the thing, too, right? When it comes to Rocket League, my voice always gets shredded when I'm commentating this game because it's always the hype that comes down to it. But of course, too, we have our amazing crowd here in the bleachers, but we also have our YouTube audience, too. Hopefully, a lot of people here did scan the QR code, so we have kind of double-dipping at viewers a little bit. But hello, YouTube! Hello, Israel! Well, we didn't forget about you. We have a lot of amazing Rocket League up ahead.
We do have a lot of amazing Rocket League, and hopefully those of you at home watching from YouTube are going to enjoy this just as much as our amazing audience that are sitting here in this gymnasium. And speaking of being in a gymnasium, this is so crazy. When I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, not a lot of esports support. And I constantly think about how different my life and my love for school would have been growing up if my principals, the people who were attending my school, cared this much about esports. I kind of struggled with school because it felt like a lot of those people didn't relate to me. And having so many extracurricular activities that are going to make it as open as possible for as many students who have a variety of interests to learn as possible is going to be so helpful. And you're seeing it here right now.
Absolutely. You got to thank your principals for that one. They have been amazing and instrumental to bring electronics essentially back over to schools. I mean, we only graduated just a few years ago, right? Whether it be college or high school, but we finally have made it through, and now all of this bright futuristic technology is coming down to middle schools and high schools and really showing that students have so many different avenues for education and to be able to be studious in many different aspects that may not have been considered 10 years ago.
Absolutely, and so much so that we even have prizing to discuss for you and these players who are up here. Things like a $100 GameStop gift certificate and the custom trophy. I mean, that's pretty cool. When I was in high school, you only got a trophy if you played traditional sports, and now car soccer is going to be able to get one too.
Oh, that's so cool. When do you think they're going to have a commentating trophy?
That would be really great. I think we're probably too old for it.
Oh.
But we can pave the way for the next generation.
Well, that's okay. Hopefully, maybe we can get the $100 GameStop gift card, right? Right?
No, that's for them too. I'm so sorry, Keg.
All right,
I'm dashing all your hopes and dreams today.
That's okay.
But also raising new hopes and dreams.
That's true. That's the most important thing, too. And, when it comes to, again, just car soccer and just esports in general, right, it activates your brain a whole lot more differently than, say, traditional sports can. Well, it still can, too. But it allows you to kind of look at things from a different perspective. perspective. It allows you to study things much more effectively than before, and being able to look at different gameplay aspects. How do you counterplay someone? How do you be better than somebody else, right? All from the seat of your home. That's amazing. It's an opportunity that no one's really ever had before.
Absolutely true. And it helps you connect with so many people who are kind of so far away from you.
That's
I mean,
true.
we talk about how email has revolutionized being able to stay in contact with people, friends from across the globe. And video games are kind of just doing that for a younger generation,
absolutely.
allowing you to stay close with friends who move away and really enabling you to stay close with people that you previously couldn't.
Absolutely. But guess what? Far away, these players are not. We are finally in our game, number one. Now, keep in mind, this is a tied series.
Whoa.
So even though it's 0-0 so far, whoever is the winner of this best of 7, so that might mean, and again, I'm not a math magician, so it took me a little bit before we got started here. If we see a team that goes 4 in a row, that means it'll already be a win. But this is getting close so far, Becky.
Yeah, I mean, that was really close to the Adams Middle School goal. That looked a little dicey for them there, but a nice recovery coming through. And now Paris is trying to push it back to keep that pressure onto Adams Middle School.
Yeah, I like this coming out from Perez, too, having that pressure on the ball. Now, keep in mind, Adams only doing the same. Now, one thing to consider, too, is that a car just got out of the field. That is a demo. That means now for Adams, they have 3 seconds where they only have 2 out of 3 of their players on the board. Big advantage for Paris now to take that ball and get their first goal.
Oh, absolutely. 3 seconds maybe doesn't seem like a whole lot of time, but in this game where there's only 5 minutes, that 3 seconds, those can add up extremely fast as we see some high air time coming in there. But it is going to be a nice receive from Paris and pushing right back onto that fourth side of the field.
Oh, what a steal coming out there from Adams. That's huge. Now the ball may very well be safely in Adams' court. It is a setup from Heath, unable to succeed. But the goal doesn't connect, and it's Bordeaux to get the first goal. Perez, the first one of today.
A very nice one to start us off in, and quite a long time for that back and forth to start, like about 1:20 coming through there before we see that first goal come in, but it's still anyone's game, and now the pressure is going to be on Adams to really come through here. A very quick push towards that goal, though, that almost was looking really terrifying, but a nice save came through there, and it's going to be some strong defense from Adams Middle School to try and keep control of this ball as much as possible, but that's looking so dicey there. But a nice kind of collision of all of those players really focusing, and we're being able to run down the field extremely far, but this airtime is going to once again keep things off of that orange side of the field.
Oh, Monkey Man almost had it. He was nearly the king of the jungle. Bordeaux, though, he got the first and only goal so far this game. He may very well be able to get the second. It's a setup, though. Adams, once again, they group together. They play as a team. It's an open goal. Will it be enough? And he does it. That's going to be a 1-1 now, a tied game for both teams.
A tied game and a tied series. We said it was anyone's game, and it's showing its ugly head here, just how much and how close this match really is. Back to the center of the field, 3 minutes remaining. And we're going to take a little bit of a pause as we have some technical issues. So you get to look at our pretty faces once again.
Hey, just like soccer, we have long commercial breaks.
That's exactly it. What's something that we should shout an out for? I've got one. The winning school, I mean, I guess this isn't, it's kind of an ad. The winning school is going to be getting that coveted district trophy that we mentioned, that $100 GameStop gift card, as well as $1,000 of computer supplies to the winning team.
Okay.
So, I mean, what a great way to continue to hype up esports and also continue to just bring that energy for computer literacy to schools.
Well, if you got that $1,000, Becky, what would you use?
That's pretty hard. I just updated my whole computer setup, so I'm kind of topped off right now, but that means that I would definitely be like holding off until there was something new that I really wanted. But
look, I'm an old man. I just got my tax refund. I'm going to use that to upgrade my PC as well. And guess what? You get an extra $1,000 for your systems. You're able to upgrade so much, and it doesn't have to just go to PCs. We're already giving away a Nintendo Switch. You could buy more of those. You could get so many peripherals. Anything like that, a massive upgrade that can help these students be the best that they can possibly be.
Absolutely, and trying to bring it to as many students as possible. I mean, we've only got a few students up here in comparison to how many people are probably interested in this game. And that's kind of the importance of a lot of these clubs and extracurricular activities, is making sure that we have as much action to bring you in the esports space as possible, as that pause has been lifted and we are back onto the pitch.
This is looking good now. Look at Josh. He may have control of the ball, but instead it goes in Adam's favor. There's plenty of dots for his name. He's the man of many marks, but can he get one on the board? The answer is no. The demo goes against Heath. Adams are now down one player. This is the ultimate advantage that Paras could hope for.
Ooh, that was a little bit scary there. Lost control of the ball, and it did go back over to those two Paras members. But we got some high angles coming through here, and a nice little collision there is going to knock that out of the blue side's possession.
Oh, boredemized. A lot of airtime now. Ball still stuck in neutral zone. Could that be enough? Again, look at the grouping. Adams, they may have what it takes. Sweaty now playing for the goal. It's up into the midfield, but no! Boredemized, they miss! Could this be a lucky shot? No! The lines, they come back!
A great save coming through there, and I'm impressed at the defensive capabilities and showings from both of these teams. This is normally a place where if you're at an even point, I would expect somebody to be getting really aggressive, but both of these teams holding on until it breaks, and Paris is going to be the ones to find the opening in the defensive strategies of Adams Middle School and get that lead.
2 goals for them now, both done by Boredemized. Of course, it's not just Boredemized that's able to do this. He is being set up so well by the rest of his team, clearing out the entire field, denying Adams that spacing away. But again, this is Adams' chance to even things up. They've done so well to keep toe-to-toe, score-to-score. Could that be it? No, the backboard's hit instead. Josh, he has the ball control. He just needs to get a lucky strike. The angles, your geometry teacher will be proud, but maybe not yet. It has to go in first.
Yeah, getting those little bits of boosts as we're trying to push hard against the opposing team. Paris almost feeling that heat, but it's back onto that orange side, trying to increase the lead for the blue side here, but it's going to be the defensive strategies once again shining strong. Is that pass going to be more than enough? Not quite. We're going to hit the edge of that goal and push it back. Is this an opening? Josh comes in at a great time. Airtime. Sweaty's going to be the first one to hit it. This could be disastrous.
Monkey Man, he has to be the saving grace, and he is. Look at the ball, goes back into the neutral field. There's a minute left remaining. Boredemized, aggressive, playing on top of the ball the entirety of this match. It's up to Adams, though. They're playing as a team, either entirely defensive or entirely aggressive, but there's nobody near the goal. What's a missed shot? Boredemized, he has it!
And that's going to be an increase in that lead for Paris. 45 seconds left on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Adams is going to have to pull it together strong and aggressive to fight back here.
Yeah, the way Adams is playing right now, it's good. But the problem is, though, is that Paris is looking at in the individual level. They're taking advantage of the fact that Adams play together as a group, and that means the goal has been completely open when they're trying to be aggressive. Josh has the setup. Sweaty there for the follow-up just in case, but it looks like it could go in. 2 blues right on top. Have to kick it away. Deny away from Adams. They have to stall for 30 seconds and they win game 1.
Ooh, just the corner there is going to knock it back and away. The pressure is off from Adams for just a moment, trying to keep it back onto blue sides, but Paris is just being so aggressive, and Adams is struggling to keep control of the ball. And then, as you mentioned, and with 2 points still needed to come through, this might just be a moment where Adams focuses on keeping mental high as we hit that 0 marker. And Paris somehow escalate themselves with 0 on the clock. They keep that ball in the air, extend that timer, and sink one final shot for the money.
Well, just like his tag, cold as ice. Absolute MVP of game number 1. Had every single goal for Paris' side. Did such a good job. But of course, again, it's not a singular effort. Being set up so well by the rest of his team. They had done so well. Again, controlling the ball, making sure, most importantly, they could deny the ball away from Adams and help set Boredemized up for success.
Yeah, I mean, it's much like, again, going back to traditional soccer. If you have somebody who's a striker who's on like the far side of the field who's making those goals, you likely also have somebody who's hanging back as a goalie trying to play defense in case things quickly start to go the direction that you maybe weren't anticipating. And that's a big part of Rocket League as well, is trying to keep people kind of far across the map to be ready to play into anything and kind of giving people those traditional soccer positions.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, too, that this is a best of 7. It's not a one and done just yet. A tied series, though, if we can see one team gain the majority of those 7 rounds, they will be able to break this series tie between both teams. But, of course, we'll find out as we get closer to Ancient Temple if that's going to be the case.
And we are going into this beautiful map number 2, Forbidden Temple, and we will be seeing...
Forbidden, not Ancient.
Forbidden. Maybe it's Forbidden and Ancient.
It could be. Maybe it's like a new temple.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's forbidden. It's not open yet.
And we will be seeing if Adams is going to be able to come in with a strong rebuttal as we get down onto this match number 2. A chance for redemption on Forbidden Temple.
Now, keep in mind, too, keep an eye on Heath, especially in this match. She was so good about controlling the demos early on in game number 1. Now, while the rest of Adams, they were able to play together as a team, you are able to break up Paris a little bit more. Bordermines, of course, was the one that gained all the scores in game number 1. Great chance to focus those demos, especially on him, to slow down Perez so much more. Heath has the ball control. Bordermines with the counter. Could that be it? Is that goal number 1 already? No! Just barely Heath with a save.
A very nice save, as Keg mentioned, coming through there, and we're going to see if we can continue to keep the ball in a single team's possession. But right now we are ping-ponging back and forth with a nice shot from Sweaty. It does not sink, and we are once again seeing a lot of that defensive strategy coming through from Adams. A lot of their focus is having to be on their own side of the field. Nobody is even down far on the pitch to try and receive a pass that would come to them.
I like the strategy coming out from Adams. A much safer game early on means that Paris was going to have a much harder time getting that initial goal. One false step, though, from the blue team, and they're going to struggle gaining back that initial point if Adams can succeed. Josh is there with the ball. Good for Heath for the counter. Bordermines already set up for a long bounce across the field. Is that it? No! Too far away. Heath is there for the denial. And from the way things are going, Becky, I think we're in for a very long game number 2. Yeah, we are.
We sure are. The back and forth, though, going very strong. A lot of long-range watches coming through from Bordermized, and I think that's why we see them end up in possession of the ball so often, is that we really see a lot of kind of laying in wait, waiting for somebody to lose control and then capitalizing on top of it.
Keep in mind, too, look at the aerial directions. Bordermized and Josh have been so good about controlling the ball in the air, but the grounded forces honestly have gone in Adams' favor. They've been so good about denying the ball away from the blue team. Ball again, once back in the air. We've said it before, this should be in the favor of blue team. Will that be enough for Paris? The answer should be yes, but Monkey Man's there for the denial. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, Becky, and still no one's gained the goal.
I mean, these are the kind of games that I like, the ones that go long, the ones that get nitty gritty, and then seeing who comes out on top after the mental game has been played. And we should be surprised after that first game that the first score to be going the way of Paris by Bordermage there. But maybe this is the fire that Adams need. Maybe that first match wasn't quite enough. Maybe Adams is playing with their food.
Yeah, I mean, Adams right now, if I were them, I'd be looking for a way to shut down Bordermines especially. Force Josh and co to really play it up here into this next game. Now, if you notice, when Bordermines got a goal, there was a special logo on their name. So one thing that maybe parents or teachers don't know is that there's a lot of professionally paid teams, and let me tell you, they get a lot of money. You're about to see it with Josh. He's NRG, and he does it again. Another signed team that allows so many teams to have so much accessibility and wonder in life with NRG, and even with Bordermines, with Moist Esports. But that's a second goal now for Perez.
And it's like cool to me. Like, I follow a lot of big esports teams. It's cool to see the kids are also big fans of a lot of these esports teams and kind of watching a lot of these people who make their living playing video games. Paris, 2 points ahead now. Adams gonna have to really figure out how to balance playing an offensive and defensive game to have a shot at taking this one down with 2 minutes left on the clock.
Sweaty, a great chance to bring it back. Him and Josh, he needs to help Bordermized. Good for Bordermized for the goal there. Sweaty's playing for the defense. That's good. That's going to make things a lot more difficult for Adams. But keep in mind, Paris, they're only going to have 2 players aggressive against the ball. That puts the ball quite literally in Adams' court.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody is there to follow up with it for the side of Adams, so it is going back into the possession of the blue side and Paris. We're going to see if the dynamic duo of Bordemeisen and Josh is going to be enough to sink this goal once more. So far, not good, but they're tenacious. They're trying for it. And Sweaty, there for the assist, but that's kind of that goalie player. So is this going to be the opening that Adams need? Unfortunately, they're not able to keep hold of that possession for long enough.
A lot of pressure now on Paris. Back to the neutral field. Adams, Monkey Man. Again, king of the jungle, looking to set himself up. There might be a perfect opportunity for a goal, but he gets demoed out!
Oh.
Out for 3 seconds, Josh!
That hurts. I mean, I talked about how much 3 seconds matters when there's 5 minutes, but 3 seconds when there's a minute left, that is not good or what you want. 2 goals need to come through to even put us into overtime in this match, and Adams continuously have the ball for a moment, and then it slips out of their fingers.
Oh, Barcodes almost did it again. Tenseness, 37 seconds left on the clock. Keep that in mind. It has to go 2-2 if we want to go to overtime. Otherwise, we go to game 3.
30 seconds, and this could be the angle. We try to go for the shot, but it narrowly misses. Adams are so close on the precipice here, but they can't seem to eke it out.
Another demo. Bordemeisen is out. This is the opportunity that Adams have been looking for. The setup is there. Full-on defense. Can it be enough? The answer is no. Bordemeisen is back. 10 seconds left.
Oh, this is not good with 5 seconds coming through and the ball being on the orange side of the field. Paris are going to be the ones taking map number 2 as well. 2-0 now. And this is the time, Adams, we got to see them turning it up. We saw an evolution kind of happen from them within that match on its own. We saw them playing really defensively at the start of that match. Kind of, it seemed like being a little bit scared of how that first match has went. Makes a lot of sense, especially if you're kind of down 4 points in the first match. So I liked that they were making that adaptation, trying to see, okay, if we play a little bit more defensively, but then that moment that you're down a point, playing defensively doesn't work as much. And so I liked seeing eventually they figured out how to pass that ball, how to get it onto the blue side of the field. And I think we just need to see a little bit more of that. We need to see that better switch from defensive to offensive play, especially if you do end up down a point kind of early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we had seen from Adams was a much closer game. It definitely put that pressure on Bordemeisen, made sure there weren't as many opportunities to achieve those goals. And let me tell you, when I was in middle school, I was not having those decision-making skills to play purely defensive or purely aggressive. So props to all those players so far already. They are using all of their brain power. And again, that's a big reason why a game like Rocket League is so good for the STEAM field of academics. You're able to achieve and unlock so much where you can be like, hey, I learned that in Rocket League.
I know, some really good split-second decision-making that kind of rewards you when you make a good decision, and that's something that you don't get in a lot of other places outside of video games. And being able to have that kind of immediate correlation and that wiring of a young brain so early on is extremely important. So we will be going down to our next map, which is DFH Stadium for map number 3. Will Paris be able to lock this one up and put them one away from taking this series home? I mean, we know that this series was 1-1, so we know that Adams has it in them. We know that they've done it before.
Absolutely. And again, this has been a round robin over the course of the last 5 weeks within the schools of each of these two schools to see which of the best teams there will be. Paris now looking handedly in the lead, but it's not too late for Adams. But it looks like Heath is out, and we have a new player. We have our sub in, I believe it's Judas, coming in. So that's going to change the dynamic a whole lot from Adams' side. That's going to be interesting. Will it be more aggressive, more defensive? We don't know yet, but when we see the first 30 seconds, I think we'll have a pretty good idea.
Absolutely, and I think you made a good point. Will that change kind of that dynamic of defensive/aggressive? And you can see that happens in things like other sports.
That's true.
Things like basketball and things like football. The moment that you change certain players out who have either kind of a better chemistry with some of the other players or even just have a better style of playing themselves, maybe have a better arm, have more capability in throwing versus running, making that little change could really start to be how Adams comes back in this series.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's not necessarily like one player's better than the other, right? It's like changing It's a weird dynamic because you don't really see it outside of sports. Yeah, it's like you change the timings, you change the formation for everybody, but we do have another swap as well for Paris' side. We have Andrew swapping out for D'Angelo. Interesting. So again, both these teams essentially starting at square one to see how each other will adapt and play around each other. That is such a smart move for both these teams because everything you learned from the last 2 games is pretty much out the window.
Yeah, I think that it makes a lot of sense the moment that Paris sees kind of an opponent make a little bit of a substitution, being like, hey, we're going to make a substitution as well, just to keep you guessing. So that, as you mentioned, all of the things that the opposing team would have learned, all of a sudden you can't kind of lean on that information the same way that you previously could. Keep your enemies guessing, and we're going to keep us guessing. Will Paris be the ones to lock this one up and get that much closer to bringing home the trophy, or is this now going to be Adam's time to shine? Post substitutions, but so far Paris, with only 1 second tick down, score the first goal. Once again, Josh and Bordevized showing up so nicely to start that one off.
Still plenty of time left on the clock for Adams, however. Initial kickoff goes in Josh's favor. Full-on barcodes there, the whole thing's down. Monkey Man, of course, neutral field. All defensive play again. Same exact prowess we had seen in the last game. Worked well for Adams to stall those initial points, but now they have to play aggressive.
Yeah, and we will see if that substitution is going to be making the difference. Having to play defensively right now, though, as you mentioned, thankfully able to push back towards Paris' side of the board. Unfortunately, nobody is there for the assist. The only thing that's on this side so far has been those 2 Paris players. Slowly but surely, some support comes through, but now with the ball going back on the Adams side of the field, it might be too little too late, trying to get that high ground, trying to sink that goal, but the miss coming through from Skibby is going to make it that much more difficult for Paris to increase their lead.
Nah, he's not Skibby. He's Skibidi himself. He's got to bring it home. A whole series of Skibidis now riding on his shoulders. He has to get that second goal, right? Can he set up Bordemise? Maybe, perhaps. J-Man, full on defense. Will it be enough? Josh? Oh, he tried to set himself up, but the angle wasn't there. Monkey Man takes advantage of Barcode's nearly doing so. Josh, all the pressure's on him.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, as you mentioned, trying to watch in those tense moments in the air. Everything moves so much slower in that fall, and it's going to be all of the Adams players playing defensively and trying to make sure that this ball does not get sunk back onto the blue side of the field, but only for a moment, as I mentioned, with all those players playing defensively. It's so hard to keep control. The demo comes through, a little bit of a reset, but that could end up being bad for Adams as well while they're trying to play that defensive game.
Bordemise, like a cat chasing a mouse, trying to get ahead of the opponent. Demos everywhere, a full-on collision. What is happening? Full chaos everywhere. But Adams comes out on top. They have full ball control.
That was beautiful. There was a moment where that ball was just left standing there, and Adams nicely able to capitalize on that moment, trying to see if 2 players are going to be enough to stop Josh as we make this push back towards the Adams side goal. And it's going to be a quick knock back towards the middle of the field. It's so close, but with 2 blue players hanging out there, this defensive game from Paris is going to come through just as strong. But I will say, considering how fast that first goal came through, I've got to give it to Adams for really controlling this since that first moment.
D'Angelo, ball control, stop the ball in its tracks. Josh there for the setup. Was that the goal? No! Off by millimeters.
Just a moment, and then it almost comes in swinging. But we thankfully, as you mentioned, those barcodes doing a nice job of holding down the fort and making a nice save there. The back and forth coming through so strong, and it is just swings back and forth here.
Adams are fighting tooth and nail to make sure this ball cannot get past that line meridian. Make sure, hey, nobody's going to get that second goal for Paris' side. We have to go 1-1. That's entirely doable. They have 1 minute and 45 left on the clock. The aggression needs to come out. They're playing full-on defense. This is the changes that you made. We need to see major changes now, and the dynamic has changed for both teams, but now the aggression from Adams needs to return. Barcode's out for just a few seconds, but it enables the aggression from Monkey Man. He's making the Hail Mary.
Yeah, trying to come through from the skies, and unfortunately, it's not quite going to be there. Barcodes tries to sink that air ball, but unfortunately the defense came through just as strong. A nice save coming through from Monkey Man, and it feels like everyone is just making blitzes back and forth on this field.
But the problem now, Becky, is that the timer is running out. Even if it goes 1-1, it'll be so hard for another team to get that second point before overtime.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all Adams has to be hoping for at this point. Find one more and then keep playing an extremely masterful defensive game that they've proven they can do. We just need to see a moment of aggression to come through from them at this point. But I say that, and the aggression never stops from the side of Paris.
Monkey Man had such a great angle there. Barcodes nearly set up the double defense for Paris.
So close. I said the moment of aggression, it was there, but the defensive power from Paris just came through a little bit stronger, trying to make sure while that ball is close to that orange side that it's not going to stay there for long. Lost control for a moment there, and it is going to go over to Josh's side. Will we be able to get this back into Adams' possession? 15 seconds. That clock is ticking. We have a moment to bring us into OT, but Blue and Paris are doing such a good job of keeping it as far away from their goal in these final seconds as possible.
Will it be enough? Oh, yes, no! Beautiful for Paris again. A singular goal. 3-0 now. I will say again, going back to what you mentioned before, Becky, the defensive Adams has been pretty gnarly. I really enjoyed watching it. Because what Adams does, right, is that they're so good with their communication. You can tell where they're at on the board, or the field in this case, right? They're pretty much a triangle. And inside that triangle, if you're Paris, you cannot go in. And that ball instantly goes from, let's say, the left side all the way back over to the right. And it makes things so much more difficult for a team like Paris to be able to take any sort of leverage. It's just Adams now. They need to take that blender, and they need to make a smoothie in this next game.
And I'm hoping for a smoothie. Again, we are seeing evolutions happen in every single one of these games. The scores are getting tighter and tighter. That one almost went to OT. We could have sat in that game for a whole lot longer. And now it's do or die time. Utopia Dusk. This could be the final match for Adams, or they could push us even further. And I'm hoping with the substitutions, with the evolutions, that we get to see us go further into this best of 7.
This map is beautiful.
Whoa. Oh, there. Whoa.
J-Man. Okay,
Adams.
Winning the initial kickoff. Let's see this here.
Wow, all right. We barely even got into this match, and we said, you know what? We need aggression. I see you, aggression.
Okay. A great change of pace here from Adams. Now, they play defensively, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have to go for a goal for the rest of the game. They can just wait it out.
And this is what we wanted to see, but okay. I mean, I said I saw aggression. I'm sorry. Now the aggression is there from both sides. And you're right. I was hoping that we were going to see just Adams' blitz goal go right into that strategic defensive play. But it's so hard to get everyone teed up to play defensive that quick into a match. And we now have 2 goals in the span of 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds at that. So this is kind of a wild way to start this match off. But Adams finding themselves so close to another goal, so close to bringing this back up right on the corner. Josh is not going to be able to make it happen, and it's going to be Monkey Man trying to push it back and make sure that it's not going to be another goal for Paris.
Ball's in a tough spot right now. Back to the midfield. A kick, bringing it back over. Blue now pressured. This is it. Adams, they could get their first goal advantage for the series. And there it is. Adams again. Hold down the line. Do not let Paris get another.
Wow. Okay, considering how our first 3 matches went, this is not how I expected.
I like this.
I said that maybe Adams needed the fire from that first loss. Maybe they needed the fire from 3 losses, and all of a sudden we're seeing a completely different aggressive team. I've been sitting here boasting how good their defense has looked for the majority of these games, and now they're showing me a completely different side.
Okay, now, a presence we haven't seen before. What does Paris do when they're down around? Are they going to crumble? Are they going to rise to the occasion? This is the moment we need to see the most. Schiapetti, D'Angelo? No, not just yet.
I mean, as you mentioned, this is now a place Adams has the driver's wheel. How can they keep a hold of it, keep in control? They need to be playing, once again, that amazing defensive game. They've had to do it because that's what they've been forced to do in every single one of these matches based on the aggressiveness from Paris and them being ahead. Now, there's a little bit of extra breathing room that can happen here for Adams. They're in the lead and they can play defensively. So hopefully that extra little bit of breathing room is going to allow them to keep a little bit more of a level head.
Let's keep away now for both teams. Ball high into the sky. J-Man, no! Bordemise almost on gold. That would have been bad. You can certainly kick your own ball into the goal, and that's not a good look, but it didn't happen just yet. Bordemise trailing it over. Might have the chance to bring it 2-2. Good defense, the legendary one. That's what we call the Adams defense.
Oh, Barcode's thinking, saying, maybe I'll be able to go for this, but Josh actually going to be the one to do that collection and try and push it back onto Adams' side, trying to go for that high point, and it is, in fact, going to be an equalizer to come through. 2.5 plus some change here, and we're at 2-2.
2-2 now. The game of ultimate stall. 2 minutes, 47 seconds left on the clock. If we don't see any team hit another goal here, it's going to go to overtime. An overtime end.
Oh, that's terrifying. Nothing sucks more than being that car that's stuck in the air, just watching, hoping nobody goes for that sinker. That's one moment where your heart just stops.
That's a scary situation to be in. Full on defense now. Backboard hit. Bordemise gets the goal.
And the increase to 3-2. Paris tee themselves up to take this series home in a quick 4-0 fashion. I keep talking about a fire that Adams needs. I can't think of anything hotter than this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Adams now. I mean, we talked about 2 minutes and 47 seconds in the span of 17 seconds. Maybe I need to go back to math class myself, but in that time, we have seen Paris take the advantage back into their favor. They were down a goal at the beginning of this game. Now is their chance to maintain the victory, and if they're doing so, they will be crowned the winners of the entire series. But Adams, if they can bring it to OT, if they can bring it to overtime, if they can get one more goal and bring things to game number 5, then they have a chance of winning the series again. A denial, a good one at that.
Yeah, but difficult to stomach. Adams desperately need to sink one more. They're clinging for a moment of potential overtime, potentially finding 2 more. Make it 3 more. That demo making it difficult to find that moment. We're getting the slow motion replay, the slight lob right into the goal past those 2 Adams members. And Paris, they say 4-2, more like 4-0.
2 goals in the span of 1 minute.
I mean, we saw 2 goals happen in the span of 10 seconds at the start of this match.
That is true. That is very true. But now things have heated up. Tensions rise. Bordemise has the setup. No defenders immediately from Adams, and straight in denied. J-Man may have just saved the game, but they have to capitalize.
Oh, scary moment there in the goal, but unfortunately the ball is not, so it is going to be possession back on orange side. That's going to be a lot of recovery distance that we have to make for this blue team. That could be an opening that Adams is going to need to at least start to close this gap.
We're full on speed now. We can see now Adams, notorious for their defense, now playing full on aggression. They're willing to take all the risk possible, including J-Man the fall. Ball handedly in Paris' favor. A triangle of their own, cycling through, carrying the ball back over to the Orange's court. All they need now is 1 more goal to most certainly solidify their victory here in this 1-1 tie between the 2 teams for the championship. But they have to do it here. The ball connects. It's looking good. Right near the goal. Will that be enough? No. Denied again, Becky. No! Backboard! Will it be enough? Another backboard!
Oh, it's
1 single
so
strike! It's not enough! Bordemise misses!
Oh, we're trying so hard to keep control of this, but there's so many Adams players. Unfortunately, them all being right in front of their own goal means they don't have an opportunity to hit it back to the opposite side of the field to be that aggressive moment that they need, staring down 2 points that they need to make. 10 seconds, that clock is ticking down. Is this Paris' moment? Is Josh pushing it across the board for one final, as this airtime is going to extend that for a moment? And Dawn, Paris as your victor 4-0.
What a beautiful match between both these teams. Again, legendary teams, the champions of their field on both sides, had done so well.
Across 5 weeks. That's a long time to be playing this game, to be readying for this moment, and even get to this moment. So a big congratulations.
Look, I was practically begging both these teams before they had their walkout, hey, can you please carry me in ranked after this? I'm bronze in this game. Like, I can understand it. I can see it, but my hands are just not nearly as good as theirs. They have the hand-eye coordination, but we have the hand-speaking coordination instead.
A little bit different for us as we're getting to see some victory shots. Wave to the camera. Woo! Oh, you can scream for the camera too. That works for me. All right.
Yeah, we gotta save our voices. You gotta do the screaming for us.
Yeah.
We have a whole other series after this one. But Becky, that makes me wonder, what series are we doing after this?
We are going to be doing the high school series right after this. So more Rocket League will be coming your way for the folks in the gym and the folks on YouTube as well. So we get a little bit of a handshake action from both of these teams here. Once again, congratulations to Paris for taking this first middle school series down 4-0.
That's right. And again, at 5 o'clock, we have the high school teams coming on through. We have Redondo and we have Miracosta going up against each other. Similar stakes between the middle school teams. But, of course, we have to set ourselves up. We have to have a little bit of a victory celebration off stream as well for these two amazing middle school teams that made their way all the way to the championship. And that means, Becky, we will have to take a small break while we get everything set up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
make you nervous. A tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster. A reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. They say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Redemption never came.
Let me take you for a ride, dancing with the lights, our hearts beating like a drum tonight. Let me take you for a ride, for a ride.
I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it, 나는 아무리 봐도 I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky. Get it right, get it right. Get that freaky, freaky on. 신경 끄고 다 같이 getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky. Get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마. I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky. I'm getting freaky, get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마. I'll be on the top, top killer. I'll be on the top, the top winner. I'll be on the top, top killer. I'll be on the top, 'cause I own it, know it, I'm a rain. I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky, get it right, get it right. Get that freaky, freaky on, 신경 끄고 다 같이 getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky, get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마.
wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you'll stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. Just my luck, put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name, you understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck, put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, I wanna leave, you understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. I wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you'll stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name, you understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck, put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, I wanna leave, you understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name, you understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away.
Mama said you're meant to burn as bright as a star among the midnight sky. All the pressure blinded me, but now I see I'm no different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Negative bull, yeah, we could be taking control. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Better off. I am wicked.
crooked, you're insane. But I wouldn't have it any other way. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance, pound for pound. We're a perfect match, pulling punches, or toe to toe. We're always on the road. Worse or better, we can't stop, we can't stop. 'Cause together we're better off, and we can. Better off, better off. Better off. I am crooked, you're clean cuts. I'm wide-eyed, your eyes are shut. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance, pound for pound. We're a perfect match, pulling punches, or toe to toe. We're always on the road. Worse or better, we can't stop, we can't stop. 'Cause together we're better off, and we can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high. High, 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 high.
Tell them what your name is. Amplify for the speedhouse.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Tell them what your name is. Amplify for the speedhouse.
Left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, left.
okay. Whatever, can I walk away? Oh yeah. Can still see your face, so tell me what to do, 'cause I can't find a way. Baby, please just tell me if I'm, tell me if I'm, tell me if I'm fine. Tell me if I'm, tell me if I'm, tell me if I'm, baby, please just tell me if I'm fine.
Just tell me if I'm fine.
I like it, but it's not okay. Whatever, can I walk away? Oh yeah. I love you too, don't love me back. I can't stand this feeling inside my mind. Baby, please just tell me if I'm fine. Please just tell me if I'm fine. 'Cause I don't know why it's stuck in my heart, baby. Please just tell me if I'm fine.
Just tell me if I'm fine.
Get up. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. Beat the body till you black out. So get the fuck up. So cover and duck, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up, next floor is us, you're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. Beat the body till we black out. So get the fuck up.
say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came.
Let me take you for a ride, dancing with the lights, our hearts beating like a drum tonight. Tonight, let me take you for a ride, for a ride. Let's go crazy, my baby, dancing with the lights. Together we could chase the sun tonight. Let me take you for a ride. Ooh.
unusual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Cause you know I get it, 나는 아무리 봐도 I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky. Get it right, get it right. Get that freaky, freaky on. 신경 끄고다가 get freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on. Get that freaky, freaky on. Getting freaky. Get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마. I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky on. That freaky, freaky. I'm getting freaky, get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마. I'll be on the top, top killer. I'll be on the top, the top winner. I'll be on the top, top killer. I'll be on the top, cause I own it, know it, I'm a rain. I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky. I'm getting freaky, get it right, get it right. Get that freaky, freaky on, 신경 끄고다가 get freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky, freaky on, get that freaky, freaky. Getting freaky, get it right, get it right. 상관하지 마.
honest anyway.
Oh, so with that being said, though, we are back again, and now the games must begin. Our players will soon be taking their seats, and we'll be seeing who can win it out between these two amazing teams to win the small championship to bring it all home. And of course, our names. We haven't even introduced ourselves, really. I'm Max. This is Becky.
Hello,
and so
hello.
We'll be bringing you through this adventure to see which of these two high schools can bring it home for the championship and gain so many trophies.
Oh, yeah, and we just said hello ourselves, but also hello, YouTube. If you scanned that QR code at the start and sent this to the friends and family at home, we hope that you are going to enjoy this match from the comfort of your own home, while the rest of us in the gymnasium are going to try and scream as loud as possible for all of you viewers at home.
Beautiful work. Of course, we're introduced to the World Wide Web. We have so many people watching us right now. Of course, we have in person, and we have so much more.
Yeah, and just like that, we're going to be getting down onto this pitch. Alan explained a little bit at the start, and we're going to kind of help walk you through this, but simply put, is going to be cars with rockets playing soccer. And it's going to be a lot of airtime. It's going to be a lot of revving those engines, and we're going to be starting here on Manfield Night.
Of course, with high schoolers, you can't really get through high school without playing through Rocket League. It got us through high school too. But of course, if you haven't played Rocket League before, it's soccer with a big, gigantic ball in the middle. But there's a lot less players on the field, so it requires a lot of coordination, a good way of handling defense and aggression at the same exact time, so you can score those goals. But more often than not, you have to sacrifice one half of those to accommodate the other. So it's going to be interesting to see which team dominates on the defense, which team takes more of an aggressive stance, or maybe each team goes for both.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, those little lights on the field are also going to be indicating some boost areas, places where you can kind of play around and make sure that you're able to move faster than your opponents, or, stay a little bit slower. As we go down into our first match, let's see where this tempo is going to get set as a first hit comes through from Redondo. A lot of initial pressure going on to Miracosta's side of the field here to start things off, and they're trying to get that possession back into their favor.
Oh, things are looking good right away now. First score, looking close. Could that be it for Redondo? No! It came so close, but it hits the backboard. Back over to the neutral field. However, Redondo suddenly pressured. Art is gone. Completely gone away for the goal, and there it is! Milkman brings it home!
The Milkman first to score within the first 30 seconds. A rather quick pace to start this off, and we're already starting to see the back and forth that is going to be very present in this game. I mentioned those little boost points, the difference in speed, the way that you're able to kind of go up into the air, twist your car. There's a lot of physics involved in this as well, but for the most part, you're going to be able to follow along relatively simple with some very basic physics knowledge.
Absolutely, and again, I'm keeping an eye out right now to see who takes a little bit more of a slouch stance to be more defensive. Now, of course, Redondo, they are down 1 point thus far. Mira, they've had a lot of pressure onto the field. Harriet's in a good spot to start things off. The follow-up is there. Look at that coordination off the backboard. That's nearly a third hit. That's not enough to confirm the goal just yet.
Yeah, able to use that kind of backboard and trying to get back into the field. And it is going to be Scotty to sink that second one coming in. Miracosta off to a blazing start here, showing that they really did come to play.
Absolutely. The hype in the crowd right now is ferocious compared to what we had seen before. Everyone's happy. Everyone's full of high spirits. And of course, the kickoff does go seemingly in Redondo's favor again. There is that block out coming out. Milkman, unfortunately, demoed away. He won't be available for a few extra seconds, and that's the time for Redondo to take that advantage.
Ooh, a nice pass there. Unfortunately, it doesn't land its way to Baguette, so it's going to be a long air ball here, trying to see which way it's going to be pushed. It looks like Miracosta is going to get the possession here after all is said and done. And another air ball is going to make us forced to kind of play back and forth and see where exactly this is going to land, who's going to catch that pass. And it's difficult to say here. Some shots going to try and just keep it off each of these teams' side of the field, but these passes are not really going to anyone in particular.
Gotta feel bad for Milkman. He's been demoed every single time we've seen one thus far. But keep in mind, Miracosta, they do not need to go for another score. Harriet also gets demoed too. It's not going to be looking good for Mira. As long as they can keep one alive for the defense, things are going to be good. Problem though, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock now. Redondo, they have to play full on aggression, but again, that might mean they give up on the defense. Baguette Good to have the ball for at least a little bit. Scottier also won the ball to the demos. That's every player of Mirror. Been demoed in the last minute, yet Redondo, they haven't found a score.
Yeah, that was a very nice back and forth that was happening between those two players trying to kind of play for possession at the middle of the field. Ultimately, it does go with the pressure Miracosta's way, but a very nice save coming through from Scotty. He's going to try and equalize that once more, and once again, these passes just not finding anyone of the same team. So Baguette, despite being in a really nice position, isn't able to capitalize on that moment.
2 minutes left on the clock now. An attempted save there. Redondo just barely holding on.
Yeah, very close shot there. And once again, that pressure just kept on to Redondo. And Miracosta might be just deciding that the best defense is a strong offense. And it certainly feels that way with how much this ball has spent on that blue side of the field.
It really has. It's been bouncing around a whole lot. No real discernible advantage for one team or the other. Good hit though from Milkman Party. Trying to keep that ball away. Put that pressure, as you said, onto Redondo. Near the backboard. Almost in that goalie zone. Becky, things are looking good. Could this be a third? No. Just barely denied part 2. No. Not a sequel for this one.
The double shot, the double save. Is this going to be the tide that's turned? And nearly is. Sham trying to push that, urge the ball in the right direction of that Miracosta goal, but it's narrowly not going to be able to make it. Scotty rejects that ball and pushes it back onto that blue side.
And again, a complete stall for both teams. The time has dwindled down so far. A minute left on the clock, and yet Redondo, they haven't been able to find too much space. Another save comes out from Redondo, but again, they need to bring that ball to the opposite side of the court. They do!
There we go!
It's time to bring it home!
Sinks one in. 54 seconds left on the clock. A chance for OT is still on the horizon. It's anyone's match here. Miracosta finds a hole in their strategy of nonstop aggression.
And hey, look, they don't call Sham the golden goat for a reason. They have reasons to do so. Now, Arts in a good position right now. Back into the goal once again. Put that pressure on Miracosta, but of course, like you mentioned, there's no defense! 2 now for Miracosta to take the lead. 45 seconds. No, not even less on the clock now. Redondo has to bring it to double time.
I mean, we said it earlier. If you're focusing on being nothing but aggressive to try and equalize the matchup, that's exactly the moment where one of those long shots is going to be more than enough. And Miracosta say, we're not concerned about this first match. 40 seconds and ticking down here. And Redondo's now got to sink 2 in this 30-second gap to try and bring this one back into their favor.
Harriet was trailing the ball. Now it's in Sham's court. This is the only opportunity. This could be the last opportunity for game number 1 to get that second goal. But no, Baguette falls. One less player for Redondo to work with. That means the ball once again handedly in Mira's favor.
Yeah, in Mira's favor, a lot of possession. I mean, that's going to be the name of the game for them right now. If you're ahead, you don't need to worry about playing aggressive. You don't need to worry about making anything fancy happen. You're just trying to make sure that you don't get snuck up on. And this air ball is going to hold us for a little while, but Miracosta is still going to be the ones to take game number 1.
A really good game 1, and I think this is a really interesting first game because there's not a real discernible advantage from one team or another. I think all the players really stepped up to the core. They all played a very fluid style of both aggressiveness and defensiveness. And look at this here. Take a look at Miracosta. Everyone feeding each other Red Bulls. Dude, I'm in. If they have an extra Red Bull, I'll happily take it. But they are working as a synergized team. And that's important. Keeping the spirits high, keeping the mental above the board, making sure, okay, you know, this first game went well in our favor. We slipped a little bit in the mid game. As long as we can keep this vibe going, we should be good to win this out. That is more important than most strategies you'll see in sports games.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to be going to Forbidden Temple next. See if Redondo is going to be able to come back here as we move on to map number 2. The Swag Ducks, maybe hold up those signs, cheer a little louder, give them a little bit of energy before we go into map number 2 and see if they can get this to an even scoreline.
Woo! Now, keep in mind, too, we are going to new maps. There is no changes between the maps either. They're just...
No, some of them are prettier than others.
Okay, yes, that is true. A competitive advantage. I guess if you get, like, distracted by the cherry blossom.
Sure, yeah. I certainly would. You know, like, look at these beautiful birds that are hanging out.
I mean, it's just so beautiful to see, but we're going to game number 2. Kickoff, though, going to the neutral zone.
Ooh.
Again, a very 50-50 matchup between these two teams. But early on, pressure does apply against Mira Costa. This is a much more aggressive Redondo than we saw in game 1.
Absolutely, and a wide open goal means it's a sunk shot for Mira Costa. Once again, a strong and fast start coming out from that orange side here. An open goal. Shambo tried to make it back in time, but just narrowly not enough. And that's kind of what I feel like a lot of these are coming down to. They're coming to some of those kind of long-range runs that either one of these teams are able to make, and just momentary lapses of, oh no, nobody's defending our goal, or oh no, somebody isn't able to make the error to defend our goal, and that's exactly what Baguette needed. Another sunk shot, and oh my goodness, like I'm getting a little bit of a whiplash from how fast some of our initial goals are happening here.
But you're completely right. It really comes down to capitalizing on missed opportunities from the opposite side. We're seeing the defense be lackluster for both teams, and that's okay. You can be full-on aggression versus full-on aggression, but you need to know where the ball stands and what the pressure is
so
against you.
close.
It happens again! But this time a full defense was there, and yet Herod still gets the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that was almost looking bad for Scottier there, but then thankfully coming in for that assist, making sure that that initial missed shot is going to have that second chance at sinking into the goal. Very nicely done, and good teamwork coming out from Mira Costa there. And maybe Redondo will be able to make something like that work for them as well here.
Oh, Ben, denying all the velocity of that ball now. It should be an advantage. No, yes, it should be an advantage going to Redondo's favor as long as they find an opportunity yet again. A great save from Milkman Baguette. The follow-up. This needs to be the double team coming out from Redondo, and yet it brings it back to the neutral. They just cannot close out the second goal.
Yeah, and I think one of those things that I see continually happening as well is this is something that you don't experience a lot in actual soccer, but it's the amount of airtime that's happening for a lot of these cars.
Can you tell me they don't go high in the sky like that?
Not quite, but a lot of the times when you end up in those kind of free fall situations, especially when you're not in possession of the ball, you're kind of wasting a lot of time. You're not able to impact the board in the same way. So while it's good to like get those high angles and be able to be a little bit more difficult to interact with, sometimes it's also the downfall of the situation as well.
Demo though, 2 against Maricosta. That is not good now. Only a single player on the board. Luckily, those respawn times do come back fairly quickly, and Redondo didn't capitalize on that situation just yet. It's a bounce back and forth though. So close, they have to play ultimate defense. The ball was way too close for comfort for Redondo.
Yeah, that was potentially really scary. Both of those players up in that high area and not really having total control over the ball, and that's exactly why we're able to see this sink come right in from Scottier there.
2-point differential now. Now, the good thing with that very chaotic first few seconds of the game is that there's still 3 minutes left on the clock. Redondo has so much time to get 2 more goals and to tie things up with Maricosta to bring these to overtime.
Beautifully said. I mean, a lot of the time, if you saw this exact score line and there was only like a minute or 30 seconds left, you'd be like, it's doomed.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to make that much happen in that amount of time. But as you mentioned, 3 minutes left, that's like more than a minute and a half per goal. So Redondo still in this one if they can make something sink here. A lot of players moving aggressively over towards that side of the map. Unfortunately, that demo is going to set both Shambo and Baguette behind, and that's the reset that Maricosta was looking for. And unfortunately for Redondo, that was going to be difficult to handle, but a nice recovery from Shambo makes it look like it was child's play.
The big brain picture plays we're seeing from Redondo was so impressive. Not only utilizing the demos, taking advantage of the fact that you don't have to worry about as many players in the field, setting it up perfectly, a great shot, making sure no one from Maricosta had the defensive prowess, bringing things home. And that was only 30 seconds.
All right, now Artis trying to make sure that doesn't go back onto the Redondo side of the board, but unfortunately didn't make that pass succeed. Maricosta taking advantage of that there. And now just trying to make sure that we can get one of these big air shots again, but a nice pop-up from Artis is going to make sure that Harriet's not able to make that ball sink.
Oh, Maricosta in a great spot to bring it home to another.
Wow.
There it is. 4-2 now.
Roll ball right in there. This replay is going to tell all. The nice 1-2 tap to come in there. And that's one of those downsides to that aggressive push not being there for that strict defense. 2 minutes and a little bit shaved off there is going to be what we are left with. Redondo still has an opportunity to get us to go into OT. As we mentioned, like usually you say like a goal takes like about a minute to like kind of bring forward, make happen. The time is still there for Redondo. Or this could be a time where we say, it's a best of 7.
That's right.
We lose one, that's okay. It's as long as we get 4 in the end, starting off 0-2, not the end of the world. So this could be a place where Redondo kind of pivots. This could be a place where Redondo says, this is not our game.
Yeah.
Miracosta is going to sink a 5th one, though. Excitement coming out from those players. And again, this could be a place where Redondo says, this one, we let go. With a minute 20 left, it would be really difficult to sink 3. Let's just see if we can start to understand how Miracosta is playing. See if we can start to understand what is making them succeed over us, and maybe take a little bit more of an analytical approach to the remaining minute left in this game.
Absolutely. Well said. Redondo, though, they have a lot to worry about here with their defense. They are holding down the line, but Harriet is just able to find these pixel-perfect ways of circumventing everybody, even when they're right next to the ball. There's a minute left on the clock. If I was Redondo, I would take this time to kind of reflect and be like, okay, what are we going to do for those next few games? Similar to what you had said, you're down possibly 0-2. There is a demo that comes out. 45 seconds left on the clock. Not a lot of time to bring things home for 3 more goals for overtime. This is where you need to think about how you're going to play the rest of the
there we
series.
go.
Okay, 37 seconds left. Prove me wrong, Redondo. Miracosta looking good. They have that prowess, but they need to also defend the ball now too. They're up by 2, but they cannot let that lead slip away.
I mean, this is a place where if Redondo is able to just get one of these really nice initial kickoffs and just find something really quickly, like Milkman's may be able to do now, Shambo comes through and make sure that that is not going to be the case. 30 seconds remaining here. Redondo needs to lock up 2 to even bring us into overtime, or continue to hope that what they learned from that last goal that we just saw is what's going to hopefully bring them to a victory on the next one.
Oh, look at this full-on aggression now. I think you might be right, Becky. No more defensive for coming Redondo. This is good. We need to see this coming into the next game. And if we do, I think we'll be going to Game 7.
All right, and we are looking at that countdown of 2-1. That ball is on the ground. The end starts here. Miracosta High School find themselves with a quick 2-0 start before we go on to our 3rd map. But to go back into this, when we're watching these players, we're trying to figure out where they could improve. And this is also a place where we're interested in seeing, one, substitutions, which we are seeing from at least one team. And we're going to be seeing if that's going to make an impact in this gameplay. Is that going to bring in some more aggression? Is that going to help the defense? Maybe that's what these teams need, to shake it up a little, make it more interesting, and maybe have that extreme comeback.
I mean, it's going to be a big issue now for Miracosta because they have to think about, okay, everything we've learned from the first 2 games, we kind of have to throw it out the window again to reset ourselves with our strategic prowess. Now there's a brand new player on the board. The things are going to change, whether it be the small little nuances about where they like to go, their tendencies, how they want to play with the rest of their team, to the big picture. Do they want to strike for the goals first? Do they want to be a more defensive player? Is that what Redondo needs right now? There's a lot of questions going into this next game, Becky, that needs to be answered.
Need to be answered and need to be talked with between the players. This is one of those places where we're talking a lot about how strategies need to change, and if they're going to change, the first step is communication, and that's one of the things that esports, especially in these team capacities, are going to be teaching these players. As we go into map number 3, which is DFH Stadium, Redondo sitting at 0, but we are seeing a lot of those strategies change, and with a little bit of a substitution coming forward as well. I'm interested in seeing if the strategies are going to change for these players as well.
That's right. We should be seeing Jake come in, Artis out. And again, that could be the difference maker to bring things to game number 7.
All right. I love seeing all the people in the crowd hyped up for esports. It's great. It makes me so happy. Warms my heart. Taking a nice peek at our beautiful stadium. Our nice
Oh, yeah.
pitch, virtual pitch.
It's wild to see how much creativity comes into these maps. I mean, the small little nuances with the trophy, there's this gigantic skyscraper, everything going around. It is absolutely beautiful to see. And of course, you know, if I could just be spending my whole life as a floating little egg person in the crowd, I absolutely would.
You just do nothing but watch Rocket League all the time.
I mean, is there a better life, Becky?
I can't think of one.
Exactly. Oh, I wish. And of course, we got to thank the crowd for coming out here as well and to help represent and support your teams as well for both high schools. Whew.
It's so cool. And all of you here are watching us. I know you're here for us and not the team.
Of course.
So we really appreciate it. We are going through a little bit of, I was about to say we're dealing with some technical difficulties. Just kidding. We know you don't want to wait. We don't want to wait either. Rev those engines. We are going right down into map number 3 as we start things off strong. Miracosta holding on to possession of that ball only for that first few seconds. A quick change of possession, and we'll see if Redondo is going to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, back in the neutral field once again. That was a common place for the ball in these last 2 rounds. Keep in mind, though, there is a new substitution. I'm expecting to see major differences.
Spooky.
No defense, full-on aggression. That's the name of the game for Redondo now. Now, keep in mind, that's what they learned from the last game. They had to play much more aggressive than defensive before, and look at the save. That's huge.
Yeah, the full sense coming out from every single one of these cars trying to either sink or swim this ball is just absolutely crazy. I mean, if a substitution meant anything, I didn't think that it was going to mean more chaos.
I mean, the chaos worked so well last game. Now, I'm expecting one of these players, especially their new player, Jake, to maybe play a little bit more defensively and to let the other two find some more aggression to bring that ball forwards. But again, if you can work as a team, have those calms down, the coordination and saves like that.
Oh!
No! Never mind! Not a save like that!
It was so close to being a save. We're getting to see this replay here. Both players going in that crisscross motion. But in the game of tic-tac-toe, it's Miracosta who came out on top for that one.
Are they tic-tac or toe?
I guess we'll find out at the very end of this.
Ooh. I'm not sure which one I would want to be, but if I was anyone here, I'd want to be Baguette. Look at that free fall, nearly good with the save.
Yeah, and now a turn back. Miracosta holding that for a moment, trying to make those passes come through. Scotty is going to be able to hit that up a little bit, trying to get that ricochet. An almost sink comes through for Shambo. So close, but the defense swinging in from Miracosta at the last moment.
Look at the coordination from Redondo now. Playing together as a gigantic triangle, looking very premeditatively for those hits. It's an open sight, essentially. No, there is one. Scotty, he's playing goalie now. Miracosta, what they want to do is they want to have a 2-1 system. They want to have one permanent goalie. They want 2 aggressive on the field, going for those demos, make things an even game. Redondo, they want to be a symbiotic unit playing with each other.
I mean, that's the kind of goal that you're going for. You're trying to make sure that your communication is on point, that your shots are on point, that these passes are connecting, because the moment that you lose that possession, things just start to go downhill, keeping as many players back towards that goal and able to push it back towards the other side of the field. Shambo collects that pass, but isn't able to keep possession there.
Baguette? No? Oh, it's risky. Milkman nearly saved the day.
I was going to say...
Oh, that was own gold.
Oh, we saw the vision there going for that lob up the top. It is open. Is it going to be enough? No, a quick save and push back towards the middle of the field. Miracosta's going to try and get in control of this situation once more, but unfortunately narrowly missing that defense from all of those Redondo players once again coming through.
Miracosta now. Boy needs to play for the stall. It's an open goal. There it is again. Taking advantage of opportunities. Miracosta saves the day. But now Redondo, they have to find a brand new strat. This over-aggression, it hasn't worked now. They have to play the same exact way as their opposite team. They need to have 1 permanent goalie. 2 need to be ultra-aggressive on the field. They have to make sure no one can get past that neutral zone. But Baguette already falls, and so does Jake. There's 1 left now for Redondo.
Yeah, for a moment there, but it is one of those high-scoring players for Miracosta to have control there for a moment. So a lot of that tempo through those demos really does stay in Miracosta's favor.
Jake, looking to see where that ball lands. Saved by the day. Baguette sends it far, far away. Not have to be a worry just now. Look at this. Overly defensive now from Redondo. The big issue now with a lot of competitive teams, wait, no, never mind, is a lot of teams, they fall into a habit of not playing to win. They play not to lose, and that's where the mental game comes in from. Redondo, they have to keep their head in the game and bring things home. They're only down by 2, but there's a minute 15 left. Sham is in a really good spot right now to potentially go for it. No, doesn't have the fuel for a demo, but Harriet falls instead. This could be the prime opportunity for someone like Jake to set up the ball.
Oh, unfortunately, the physics just not quite right on that rolling shot, and it's not going to be pushed towards that goal, trying to get up all of these boosts and make sure that we're going to be able to push this back far away from the Redondo goal. Thankfully, it does miss over the top there, so Jake's going to be able to hold down the fort for a moment, get these demos out, try to clear the field up.
38.
As you mentioned, 38 seconds ticking down even more with 2 points needed to score to go into OT. Redondo, make it 3 before you count yourselves with a shot at bringing this home. 29 seconds. I mean, Maricosta's won the last 2 years for a reason.
Absolutely. If I'm Redondo now, I'm really looking to play into those demos. It's been the biggest advantage you've had as a team so far. Miracosta, they've been falling for them left and right. You need to have a body advantage on the field.
I mean, you said it, and it's something that we actually got to see them do a really good job of in that last run, actually. Unfortunately, some timing just ends up not going into their favor. So close to sinking that one and being able to get a score onto the board, but Scottier is just coming in swinging to keep that pressure off.
3, 2, 1, and for Miracosta, it's another victory.
Taking that one and pushing to a 3-0. Redondo Beach are holding on. Still a light at the end of the tunnel and a potential trophy to be won. But it would sure be a series going the distance to all 7 matches. But we are seeing, once again, we talked about this when we were watching middle school as well. Watching the evolution, watching the communication kind of happen in real time, watching the scores of all of these matches kind of get closer and closer as we continue on, and seeing that these players are evolving.
Now keep in mind too, both these teams are fighting for that championship. They want that trophy, they want the money for the schools, and they want the gift cards. But keep in mind too, both teams will be eligible to compete in a City of STEM Esports High School Invitational that's happening later this month. That is a huge opportunity for both of them, and again, a lot of learning opportunities for both these teams in case, if there's a possibility they face against each other there too, they'll know how each other works.
Very true. And I think that that is something like, we talk about this a lot in like big level esports. There is a lot that can be said for a team being able to watch another team play, pull apart their strategies. You see this in things like football, in basketball. They literally hire entire analysts to be able to come up with plans for ways for their players with their specific specialties to attack the enemy teams, to go through those videos of all of those previous matches and pick it apart. And that's something that at this level is like hypothetically there, but is really difficult to kind of put into play. It's something that it's an entire skill on its own. And so even though we're not seeing this be like, at least from the second match into this one, we're not seeing like a full tumble of Redondo coming back, taking it home. But even just seeing the way that changing a player, changing a little bit of strategy, changing how aggressive they play is making a difference, you're seeing a little bit of that extremely high level and very highly paid job coming into play here.
Now, keep in mind, too, Redondo just called for a timeout. They're taking 2 minutes to reconvene with the team, talk to the coach, and see, okay, what can we do to change things up? A lot of opportunities, a lot of ways of counterplay, but in a game like Rocket League, it's a lot of it is down to microplay. You need to be at the right place, the right time, but also keep that communication alive. When we talk about the microplays, it's you moving your car around. It's not the big picture, like where are your teammates placed? Where is the enemy team placed? How can we control the majority of this board? But where the coach comes in, he can look at the big picture for you. Be like, okay, this is how you can set up X player for Y, or even Z player needs to help X player to commit and go for the strike with Y. That is where we need to see that triangle of doom that Redondo is known for and has to bring out here.
Absolutely. As we watch some of these replays while that timeout is taking place, and I'm hoping to see some of that little bit of analyst come through. I will be looking to see how Redondo Beach is changing going into this next match with this extra 2 minutes of kind of talking, breathing, debriefing, trying to understand what somebody from the outside is seeing.
Absolutely. And I love the idea that Redondo was bringing out in that last game. Focus on the demos. Again, keep the body advantage for yourself as much as you humanly can. Make sure you give yourself an advantage anywhere you can. Play to win, not play to lose. And I think Redondo was going into that mentality a little bit more. Swapping in Jakey was a really good idea, but the problem is, though, is that there wasn't much defense. You bring yourself to an over-aggressive team, there's going to be a team like Miracosta that can find opportunities to circumvent that and go for these teeny tiny little goals that Harriet was so good at doing. This kickoff is going to spell everything. Well, the game is paused.
All right, and going into our potentially final match here as Miracosta have themselves at 3, a chance for a 4th and completing this best of 7. But Redondo, 2 minutes of debriefing, the demo's coming through. Is this going to be Redondo's dusk on Utopia Dusk and sunsetting Miracosta's victory?
It's not even a might, it's a must. This has to be the solution for Redondo here. They have every opportunity in the world to get that angle in. No demos available. Jake is being ultra aggressive, but where is the defense? Baguette's there for the midfield. Huge. But look at this. Miracosta, they have an open opportunity. Jakey's already there. The awareness is out, but even then, the ball magically works in Miracosta's favor.
Indeed. Yeah, you mentioned it. Trying to make sure that we're there for the assist, but that back and forth, that ricochet action just makes it so that Miracosta are able to capitalize on that airtime in just the right way. A quick push over towards the orange side of the map, though, and Redondo have a moment where they could potentially make something happen here, but Miracosta, a lot of dedicated parties into making sure that that goal is protected.
Jake is the ultimate pressure tool for Redondo now. Ultra aggressive. That's going to put a little bit less pressure on the rest of Redondo to play a little bit more safely for the goalie. Of course now, Miracosta, we've established they're playing together as a symbiotic unit. They can play together. That's a 1v3. Now, just a matter of getting past that 1v3, maybe bring out a demo, have Baguette be the flex between in the midfield to help out. Jake, losing the ball. This is the time to shine for Sham. He is the goalie. Is that enough? It could be. No! Sham!
Sham!
No!
Oh, the ricochet off the pole there, and we're trying to keep possession as much as possible. Keep the pressure on where we can. Redondo is so close here. Some beautiful plays.
Is that
we
it?
just need to make sure that it gets there, and we keep trying. This is one of those moments you try not to let that bother you too much. The vision, the teamwork was there. We've just got to make that magic happen one more time.
Miracosta have been so good about playing around the map. They're not focusing on the ball specifically, but where their placements can be to get that prime opportunity to bring the ball back into the court for a second goal. Redondo's the complete opposite. This could be their opportunity. The defense for Miracosta, admittedly, is a little bit lighter. They're willing to play with the map a whole lot more. Baguette, make sure that ball does not go any closer to the goal, and it's absolutely the case.
Oh, Harriet really fighting to get that back into the orange possession again, but it's actually going to be Jake moving it back over, trying to keep that pressure once again, but that demo is going to really put a stinker on the plans of Redondo as both of those players vying in that corner to make sure that something doesn't go disastrously wrong for Redondo.
Remember too, if you get demoed, you are out for just a few seconds, but your position is also reset. Someone like Baguette, who's been the ruler of the midfield, that's completely gone. Luckily though, it's Scott this time. He's been eliminated just for a few seconds. Harriet takes advantage, sends the ball away, makes sure there's enough time for Scott to respawn back. Oh. It's a goal again! Set him up and knock them down!
I mean, this is one of those places where I was praising Redondo. They did some great teamwork at the start of this match. They had a ton of time spent on the orange side of the board too, while also staying pretty spread out, like making sure that you're able to have those passes connect and not get kind of stuck. As we're on the precipice of a goal there, just waiting for that final push in, trying to make it sink here. We have cars flying everywhere, but unfortunately the pressure goes back towards this orange side.
Redondo now completely aggressive. They don't want to go for the defense anymore. It's a roundabout way, a minute and a half left on the clock. Anything could go. Milkman has the prime angle. No one there for Miracosta to follow up. Scotty might be the one to do so. Jakey misses the ball. Can he set it up? No! It's a steal! It's a reset up! Harriet might have it! No! Unlucky.
But a great save coming through there, making sure that that is not going to be another sunk goal for Miracosta. Redondo trying to make sure that even though they're behind by 2, they're keeping as much control as possible in these final moments and trying to maybe give themselves a shot with a minute remaining.
That's right, Becky. 1 minute remaining and 2 goals needed. It's going to take a little while, but it's certainly doable for Redondo to bring things back to overtime. Sham, a good setup into the goal. No backboard control.
Oh, the amount of close shots that are just narrowly missing for Redondo is absolutely heartbreaking. The defense coming through from Miracosta is just looking so strong here.
Absolutely. And with only 30 seconds left on the clock, now it's anything goes. Redondo have just yet to find a way to get in. The defense of Mira taking full control of the court has been so good. But even Mira hasn't been able to find that third ball, that third goal.
And Redondo, a lot of players stuck together here trying to make sure that this stays away from their goal as that timer ticks down. 5 seconds going down, and with the pressure on Redondo's side, it's going to be Miracosta in a 4-0 fashion, finishing this series off.
The biggest thing that we saw from Miracosta was their willingness to play with the entire core. I love the idea of Redondo. They wanted to play as a team, and that works beautifully 9 times out of 10. But when you're up against a team that has that individuality where they can control the ball, send it from one side of the court to the other and still catch it, it's really hard to get past a team like that. Miracosta was so impressive, and like we said before, both of them being eligible for the STEM High School Championship is going to make both these teams a ferocious force to deal with.
Exactly, and as you mentioned, both of them being capable of that goes to show that both of these teams have a lot of mettle to them. And we're going to be seeing handshakes across the board from both of these teams. I have to say, Redondo, after I said that I was going to be watching after we took that little bit of a timeout, after 2 minutes of a little bit of coach's input is going to be able to add to it. And none of those, I hate when a score feels like, if you have a 0 on one side, it makes it feel like you didn't do as much. But there were like 5 shots that were so close to landing for Redondo. And that's far more than we saw in any of the games before.
Yeah.
So we saw marked improvement on that final map. And again, I wish that score reflected just how close it felt to watch that final match.
It really did. It felt intense for us too, right? And we've done this for a little while now, and there's those moments where you just know. It's like, whoa, this is really, really close, and it felt close. You can almost ignore the scoreboard a lot of the time because it's like, it's such a 50-50 maneuver. It can be a coin flip at times. But, of course, for Redondo, unfortunately, it wasn't their day today, but it can be theirs next time around. Miracosta, a wonderful team. I hope we get to see more of them. But that's also it for us today. We have our championships for both the high school and middle schools for the Lollipop Labs tournament here, and I just can't wait for the next one.
I certainly can't wait for the next one either. Once again, a thank you to all the principals of these teams and everyone involved in making this happen. Thank you at home for watching. Thank you in this gymnasium for watching. Congratulate your teams. They've played so hard today, and we'll see you all next time.